So it seems like you're good at this. You love this stage. Am I right in saying?
Yeah.
And that's from everyone I've spoken to. I interviewed William Kendall last week, and he said that is the hardest stage, and that's what most of our listeners are going on. What are the first kind of the route to your first kind of million or even 500 grand at Bear look like? Like, how did you take that? What was the deals that kind of made that happen?
The evolution was interesting for us. So early on, Waitrose and Sainsbury's backed us very heavily early on. And that's what really jettisoned us on very quickly. We also had some really nice listings with the likes of Holland Barrett, are very supportive back in the day. And, unfortunately, Wilkinson's as well. Wilkinson's did it. Because we also, again, to be careful how I say this, but I always used to smile because I had so many, you know what it's like when you're building a brand and a business and you've always got people who've got an opinion on it, right?
Yeah.
And I used to laugh and a little bit because we were absolutely clear we wanted to be the UK's favourite fruit snack. And we're absolutely clear that doesn't matter what the brand name was above the door, if we knew putting the brand in that particular customer was the right thing to do, to giving, mums and dads or families access to kind of, nutritionally dense products like Bear, that's the right thing to do. But, you had people come in because I think we went into what I would call some retailers such as Wilkinson's in very early on. People were like, oh, that's not very strategic. What are you putting this brand in there for so early? And it's like, well, what do you mean by that? Well, it's a bit down market. Sure, it's not going to damage the brand. And I'm like, I don't care whether it's Waitrose or it's Wilkinson's. It's the right decision to put that brand in there. And actually, I had to say, and again, it was, I could have mentioned it actually earlier on as a dark moment. We had exactly the same conversation around putting Innocent into McDonald's. I mean, oh my God, when we did a trial with Innocent in McDonald's, which, I went and brokered that with Adam, who's the founder. And we always wanted to be transparent. So we actually told our Innocent consumers that we were going to trial with McDonald's. I mean, Richard Reed had death threats, right?
You're joking.
Yeah. I mean, some of the things that came through in terms of hoping that he died and stuff like that. And then because people were so passionate about the brand and putting it into McDonald's, they could not get their head around at the time. And, for me, that was again where somebody said to me today.
So sorry, what were you saying to your customers at Innocent? Because I think it's really interesting.
So to our consumers, right?
Yeah, to the consumers.
To our consumers, we were saying, look, guys, we wanted to be open with you. We're all about helping the nation, get healthier, eat healthier. Yeah. I think, obviously 2 or 5 a day as it was back there is really important. They've got the kids' meal deal. Right now, there's not a lot in there that really helps fulfill that kind of that way of thinking. We've got an opportunity to do a trial, so we're going to trial McDonald's. We want to let you know because you might see it in your local McDonald's, and we sent that out to the Innocent family, which is the the email database that went out, and it kicked off big style. And a load of us spent hours and hours fielding calls from and fair play to the 3 boys and also Jamie Mitchell, who was kind of MD at the time. Spent loads of time on the phone all over weekends and stuff like that. And to some consumers, they were not going to move off it. That was it. You sold your soul if you're putting it at McDonald's. And there was a number of things, which was people's perception of McDonald's, but also Innocent as an independent business going into a corporate, entity and an ugly entity that's apparently can do, has done lots of bad things to the world and the planet, like McDonald's. They just couldn't see why that would ever be a relationship that should ever happen. And I have to be honest, and I don't know, it'd be interesting. Somebody should ask Richard and John and Adam the same question, really. If somebody said to me today, if you were knowing what I know now, would I still do that trial? I absolutely would. Because I'm very big on moral and ethics ahead of sometimes business performance. And even though it might have damaged the business a little bit, if it gives people more opportunities to get portions of fruit, that's the right decision for me. And I know you're going to upset some people doing that, but I still think it's the right decision. I don't think there's any place in today's world for, I think any product that does good to a person or to the planet or whatever it is, making that as ubiquitous and as available as possible is good, whatever. And I know people have different views on this, but.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll be honest, I love this. Why I like doing these conversations, right? Because you can test and see, am I wrong? Because I've always been along the kind of the mantra of your distribution is your marketing kind of things. Yeah. The obvious one of like, if you're a Waitrose brand, don't go into say an Aldi or a Lidl or an Asda, like work your way up, like But then I suppose what you're saying, if that's a way to put it in the consumer's where the consumer
but it
is.
depends what your purpose is, right?
Yeah.
So going back to Innocent was about being the UK's, UK and then Europe's favourite smoothie company, right? Bear was about being the UK's favourite fruit snack. How can you be that if you're not prepared to go those sort of sites? Given the size of the audience that goes in there, there's a disconnect, I believe, between your vision and that. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure a lot of consultants who are a lot brighter than me and a lot more strategic than me, and also, financiers who are much more business numeracy salient than me, will probably say, but it could be detrimental to the business. But I don't always make decisions based just on that.
How do you navigate? How do you tell the Waitrose? Because I always find it interesting is how do you say to Waitrose, oh, by the way, we're also going into an Aldi, or Innocent is the started as kind of the guys from Oxbridge, and then goes, right, we're going to go into McDonald's. How do you?
I think they're slightly different, right? Because I think that traditional bricks and mortar supermarket going into Aldi is going to be friction, right? Because Aldi Lidl, whether we like it or not, if you look at the cross-shop purchase, all their steal is all their consumers are coming from Waitrose, Sainsbury's, Tesco. So if you're going to go into Aldi or Lidl, which you're completely entitled to, there is a potential that Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, etc., won't see you in the same light again because it gives them a lot of problems and headaches. Brands need to make their own decisions about that. My own view on it is I think you've got to make a decision based on the individual brand. When it comes to going into into a retailer who might be more contentious for different reasons, such as McDonald's, or, we know that, for example, as another example, a lot of people, suppliers, are criticised for working with Primark, for example, because of, how they were procuring their clothes and all that sort of stuff. I think that's a different matter. And what you have to do is, I think you have to look at the business you're concerned with and make a judgment call. Dan, for me, I think there's the bottom line on this is I don't think there's a wrong or right answer. There's a judgment call, right? And you've got to make that judgment call. But, for me, when it came to, on Bear, particularly with, fruit snacks, and the fact it was all predominantly around kids' fruit snacks, and, based on what we knew kids were eating in packed lunches every day, wherever we could get available, if they were going to switch in for a Bear, that was a win for everybody all the way around.
Yeah, I like finding the nuance in things, and it's because even I've seen on LinkedIn these little or Aldi wiggings when it's gone, it's gone. I'm thinking, why are you doing that? But then it's like, well, actually, if your mission is to feed these many mouths, then it's worth doing. I think there's a brand who did an own label for I probably can't say who it is, an own label for Aldi. Yeah. But if it fulfills, they've got a big purpose behind that mission where they give snacks back to people in third world countries, and so I think if that fulfills your mission, then it's worth doing. So I think it's fascinating. We've talked a lot about Innocent and Vita Coco. When we spoke last time at Bread and Jam, you said something that was really, really interesting, and you said kind of Innocent was very data driven, whereas the Vita Coco founder Mike said bollocks to data, which I think was hilarious. Yeah. I am very much the bollocks to data kind of guy, and I'd love to know why I'm wrong on that and why what Innocent we're looking at.